Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. I am Stephanie and I am an eBay reseller and I've been doing that for 20 plus years, and I also work full-time as a marketing person for a software company. But anyway, I am going to today go over, I've been a little bit remiss in going over my sales, and sales have been really good for me. I've been more aggressive on finding things. Excuse me. I've been getting a lot more things from a lot more sources. And so today I want to go over some things that have sold and then talk a little bit about, I'm going to give a little tidbit of information with each one. Hopefully it won't go too long, this video, but I had some really good sales. This is over the past couple of weeks. I've had some really good sales. Do keep in mind I am part-time because I work full-time. So anyway, let's get to it. I have some good sales in here. So the first item that sold is this beautiful vintage Ferregamo scarf. And I got this item when my fellow wonderful friend and sellers came to Minnesota, and we all went out to various places. One of the places we went to was an estate sale, and Janet of Happy Hour Haulers found this scarf and said, hey, do you want this scarf? And it's a gorgeous scarf. So I said absolutely. So it's a silk scarf. It's rare. It's a scarf with different shoes from Ferragamo over the years. It was in perfect condition, and it only cost, I think it was like $12. So it took a couple of months to sell, and it sold for $89. So that was pretty good. I just shipped that one out actually. So that was exciting. So thank you, Janet, for finding that. I am super appreciative for that. It was a little hard to let that one go because it was really a pretty scarf. All right, next up is this Thread and Supply wool-like, not wool, but wool-like double-breasted winter coat. This I've had since February of last year at the TJ Maxx Yellow Tag clearance sale that was back then. And it sat there since then, and so it took a while to sell. Thread and Supply is not, the highest end brand name. I think it sells at places like Nordstrom Rack. It was brand new with tags. Like I said, I got it on TJ Maxx Yellow Tag clearance, and it sold for $21. I was pretty happy with that. They paid the shipping, and so I still at least doubled my money, maybe even tripled. So Yellow Tag clearance is just crazy. Next up is this Bailey 44 sport sleeveless dress with shorts. This was really cute and unique, and I got this at the Yellow Tag clearance sale at TJ Maxx just a couple of weeks ago. So it sold for $35. It took a couple of, I guess I would say about 3 or 4 weeks to sell. So that was a pretty good deal. And then next up is this Christian Dior rectangle silver tone logo, not silver, but silver tone logo with crystals. It was, it was a pendant is what it was. It was really cute. I got this item from a new source, which I wanted to bring up. My new source that I got it from is goodwillfinds.com. So what I've been kind of doing is waiting until the things I've been going through and kind of liking things that are going on sale. And then if they go on clearance, goodwillfinds.com has clearance sales now and then. 50% off clearance sales. And you can get some really good items on sale. So this item, I did not do that great on, but I think I spent $31 on it. It sold for $45. So I didn't do very well on this one, but I wanted to show you another pair of shoes I got from that sale. They're right here. So I got these for $35 on that sale. They're in excellent condition. They're for sale on my eBay store right now. And they're a size 39.5, by the way. Anyway, check out goodwillfinds.com because it's a conglomeration of stores. I don't know exactly which ones. Southern California is one of them. So anyway, the Dior pendant sold. It only took a couple weeks to sell. It did come with a certificate of a lot of the items you buy from goodwillfinds.com do come with a certificate of authenticity, which is great because then you don't have to invest the money yourself to do it again. All right, next up is this Louise Harrison Couture Roses Silk Kaftan, however you say that. This is kind of like a wispy robe that you would wear like to a pool party or something like that. It's really not my world. I don't I mean, I'm not going to wear a silky, flowy caftan. I'm just not going to do that. I'm glad people do. Good for you. But it's not my thing. But anyway, Louise Harrison is George Harrison. You know, I believe he was a member of the Beatles. I'm not positive. Someone's going to be telling me whether that's true or not. Louise Harrison had her own couture line. I believe that is all vintagey. But this thing was in perfect condition. And it came in a fabric box, believe it or not. It came in a fabric box. I sold it for $27 and it took a couple of months to sell. It was a really beautiful item. Next up is this Salt brand patterned handbag strap. These go for like $100. Okay, I couldn't believe it when when you open a fun box, you don't know exactly what things are until after when you look them up. But this sold for $45, and fun fact, I tried it on and I was thinking about keeping it as a belt. It was really cute. It was cute. It was a really pretty looking, really good quality. But someone bought it, and it took about a month to sell, so not too bad. All right, next is this new with tags Kate Spade women's navy blue belt with a cute little bow in the front. TJ Maxx clearance. Took a couple of weeks to a month to sell. And it sold for $27. Not too bad. It cost me almost nothing. So I mean, I don't sell a lot of belts, but I think because it was a new Kate Spade one in a good size, it was a size medium. It sold well. Kate Spade, of course, is a brand name people love and recognize, so that helps. Next up is this Trina Turk black and white swimsuit. If you had been at TJ Maxx, you probably saw this swimsuit there. They went on clearance. The retail price on these, which was still attached on the tag, was like $170. I just wanted to remark about, sometimes it might seem like I don't appreciate Trina Turk, but that brand name actually is a really good brand name. That brand name is, it's not, when you get it in a designer box, you're kind of like, meh. At least I am, because I'm going to just adjust my camera here. When you get it in when you get a Trina Turk item in a designer box, it's kind of like, the cost is high on it and they don't sell well. So you almost always lose money. At least that was my experience. But the new, like these swimsuits and things like that, they sell well. The next item is similar to this one. It was a tunic, like a swim cover-up in a similar pattern. And that one sold for $47.99, and it only took less than a month to sell. So Trina Turk newer items are great. But getting them in a designer box is always kind of, I don't know, for me. Only for me, I'm just saying. All right. Still beautiful items, but they just don't sell as fast. Okay. Next up is this True Religion mini flap horseshoe purse. I knew True Religion was a good brand name. I personally don't buy anything by that brand name, so I really wasn't sure how this would sell. I knew it was a good brand name, of course. But anyway, it did sell. It sold within just a few weeks, and this was a TJ Maxx clearance item. And so it sold for $25. Yeah, I was almost kind of surprised how quickly it sold. So, yeah, keep True Religion in mind when you're out shopping. Next up is this Lily, and I don't know how to say this, Sadawi beige velvet headband with pearl accents. It was in new condition. It did not have a tag, but it was in perfect condition. And it came in a fun box, and I was like, "Oh, what am I gonna?" I thought about sending it to Christina because she loves headbands. But I thought I'd give it a try and sell it, and I did sell it. It sold within just about a month or so. Yeah, and it sold for $26, so that was a good sale. Next up is this Paulo Linnea Darcy slingback shoes. Paulo Linnea was a new name to me. I found these at a thrift store in California, and they just looked like they were good quality shoes, and they were in excellent condition. So I looked them up, and sure enough, they were a good name. So it took a couple of months for these to sell, and they sold for $35. So check out that brand name if you see it. Next up is one of my favorite brand names. And it's Red Wing boots. You might, when you think of Red Wing boots, think of men's work boots, which is how they got their start, and they continue to sell Red Wing work boots. However, they also had and still have women's items that are sold at finer stores. So this item was a pair of boots that someone on Facebook Marketplace was selling for $40, and so I went and bought them from that person, and they sold within a week for $98. Beautiful shoes. If you ever get a chance to see a pair of shoes like from Red Wing of the women's heritage line, they are the most finely crafted shoes you can buy. They're made in the USA. They've got the leather soles. They're supremely crafted. But these were about $400 new, and overseas they're even more. So another thing to keep in mind is Red Wing boots, men's or women's. Okay, next up is this flowered Dolce & Gabbana poppy red dress. This one I also got from GoodwillFinds.com. So it was, I did pretty well on it. It sold within 2 weeks. Dolce & Gabbana gets tons of views and tons of likes. And this dress, of course, was beautiful. And so it sold fairly quickly for $100. So that is wonderful. Next is this Trina Turk purple V-neck dress. I got this dress at, I'm pretty sure I got this dress at a thrift store. I think I paid about $7 for it. It sold for $18. It took many months for this dress to sell. And so, you know, again, Trina Turk, I have no idea why, but the used items just don't sell as well. But it did sell, so it's off my shelf now. So anyway, next up is this new with tags, Adrian Vittadini blue nylon backpack. I put the word carry-on in the description because I thought it was a nice big bag that would fit in a carry-on space. And I think people will, it's just another way. If you just put the word backpack in there, people who are looking for a carry-on bag may not see it. So I added that to the description. And it sold within probably a month, and that was a TJ Maxx Yellow Tag clearance find. Next up are these Vionic women's shoes. If you don't know about Vionic, they are good shoes for people who have foot pain and foot problems. And these were in good condition. I got them at the bins, and they sold within about 3 or 4 months for $23, which was okay. Didn't get rich, but I did okay on those. Next up is this brand new with tags, Lucky Brand oversized sling bag. I got these at Yellow Tag clearance about a month ago, and it was they were pretty cheap. I got 3 of them, and they've all sold now. They've all sold. They were in high demand. Lucky is a good brand to sell. This was genuine leather too. They were really gorgeous bags, so that was a good deal. Next up is this Petite Lucette, a little girl. I can't remember what size it was because I don't have it written here, but it was like a 2T, I think, something like that. But this is a French brand, Petite Lucette, and this was a wool cardigan just for a baby. The retail price on this little sweater was like $100. Okay, but anyway, it was a gorgeous sweater. So if you ever see the name Petite Lucette for little kids clothing, be sure to have a look because it's expensive, it's well made. And this one did take a long time to sell. It probably took 7 or 8 months to sell. So, all right, next up is this pair of Stuart Weitzman black patent kitten heel shoes. Got those at a thrift store in California. Let's see, I think they sold for $38.99. They took about 3 or 4 months to sell. Yeah, so I tried sending them into the Real, but the Real, for some reason, I don't know if they just have too many. They didn't really give me, it wasn't a quality reason, so I suspect it was something about too many, but I'm not sure. Anyway, they sold, and they sold for $38.99. Next up is this pair of M. Jemmy leather driving moccasins or driving loafers. And I hadn't heard of that brand. I bought these at a Goodwill in California. I paid $17 for them. So with fees and everything, I lost money. The research told me I may be able to sell them, but I took a gamble and I lost that gamble. So that's okay. That happens. It happens if you're not ready to play the game. I guess just can't take any chances. But anyway, it's all good because most of them I do make money on. Next up is this Badgley Mishka pink faux leather bag. It was adorable. And I got that at Yellow Tag clearance, and it sold for $27.30. I did pretty well on that one, actually. I do love Badgley Mishka bags. They're really beautiful. Next up is this pair of SAS Dream black snake pattern leather loafers, and those sold for $26.60. I got those at the bins probably 3 months ago. And so, yeah, that was a good find. Or did I get those during the reseller? I don't track. I do this by memory, so I don't have it written down when I purchased these. I'm just really winging it on that. So anyway, next up is this Karl Lagerfeld. It was a natural straw bag, and this one I got this at Yellow Tag clearance a couple months ago. And this one, I knew right away as soon as I listed it that it was going to sell for what I asked, $65. It was just, as soon as it was listed, people were liking it. A lot of people were seeing it. And so it sold for $65 and it took about a month to sell. And the next one after that is this Kate Spade nylon leather confetti handbag. This came in a thread up name brand handbag box. And I thought this was just the cutest bag. It was nylon. It had this confetti pattern on it. And then it had these really pretty leather handles. And it took, I don't know, I bet it took, probably 8-9 months to sell. And I had to discount it down to $18, but you win some, you lose some. At least it sold. There was a tear in the bottom of the inside of the purse, so that might have something to do with it. But all right, next up is this men's dry fit pink golf polo shirt, and that is in a size XL. Pumpkin Ridge is the name of the golf course. My ex-husband sometimes gives me stuff to sell, which is fairly nice of him, actually. So he gave me this one. It was brand new in the little pack. He golfs all the time, so he gets shirts wherever he goes. And if I make money on them, that's awesome. And I just keep the money for myself. So there we go. All right, next up are these Kate Spade red patent leather flats. Got those at the bins. And it just took like a month for those to sell. I got $20 for those. They had some wear to them. And so I'm just glad I sold them. And I did okay on those. Just a few items left now. Next up is this pair of Doc Marten men's shoes. Boots or shoes or whatever. Those actually took several months to sell. And I got $25 for them. There wasn't anything wrong with them really. But they're just kind of plain shoes. But you know, they are Doc Martens. And so they did sell. So two more things. The next thing is this Derek Lam 10 Crosby black dress. And that sat there for quite a while. Derek Lam 10 Crosby doesn't sell very well. Doesn't sell very fast. It sold for $15. I think that came along in a designer box. So I lost a little money, but that's okay. It sold, and hopefully someone got it and loves it. And next up is this Kate Spade pink one-piece floral swimsuit, and that was a TJ Maxx yellow tag clearance sale item. So I do have quite a few yellow tags on there this time because, it wasn't that long ago I listed all those items. And so yeah, I hope that my little what sold videos and give some inspiration or help in some way. I like to go over them and just kind of see what I sold and discuss it a little bit. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below and have a wonderful day.